Hello, I want to welcome you all to the Gladiators Arena, the Coliseum of work and sweat. My name is Coach Henry. I am a personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and a strength and conditioning coach through ISSA. Today I am going to give you all a sneak peek of a training session with Ladonna. She's the volleyball player that I'm training. Her goal, of course, is to jump higher, slam harder, and avoid injury. So by enhancing her natural ability through weight training and plyometrics, I am able to help her do better, of course, on the court.
And that's what it's all about, preparing the client for what they love to do. So, with LaDonna, during her microcycle, we started off strengthening her core because strong core muscles make it easier to be more physical and dominating, while a weak core leads to fatigue and it opens the client up to be more susceptible to lower back pain. Core muscles work together to support the midsection and provide a platform of support for jumping, throwing, and changing directions rapidly.
Now let's talk about in-cycle training. The type, volume, and intensities varies throughout the year. Of course, this is a very powerful technique that allows the body to adapt rapidly without overtraining. You don't want to overtrain clients, reason being is because they're unable to function on the floor to their full capacity. And the reason why they hire us as coaches is for them to be limited of injury and for them to get better, at their sport, at their craft. So I started her off, of course, with a microcycle, which lasts anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks, and we are now in the mesocycle, which you'll see throughout the video, lasting anywhere between 4 to 12 weeks. Of course, this is the load phase, and the goal is to develop maximum power. Get her ready for the upcoming season. The weight training program involves high volume, so that's 5 sets of 5 to 8 reps, starting off working major muscle groups. First, by design, this helps the client build base strength, competitive strength, and power. And just from training Ladonna this entire time, she's definitely become more stronger. She has more explosiveness, and once she gets over, her little hiccup with the box jump, she won't have any problem hopping on up there, blocking anybody's shot, and doing whatever it needs to be done on the volleyball floor.
So, for today's warm up, LaDonna is waking up the hamstrings with a lateral squat walk with resistance band. Basically, the client stands with their feet a little more than shoulder width apart, get into squat position, knees are roughly 45-degree angle, and walk sideways, taking 3 steps to the right and 3 steps to the left to return. Of course, slower and better quality is more important than speed and poor quality. Also, combine this with lay down lateral raises to warm up those hip flexors. Next on the warm up menu, we have tuck squat jumps. This is similar to the squat jump except more vigorous. You have to jump higher off the ground to perform the knee tuck and still achieve a balanced landing. So, of course, these warm ups definitely help with the explosion process. Box jump helps with that explosion process as well. Plyometric exercises best prepare athletes for intense real game movements and is a vital part of her training program. The goal of plyometrics is to train the muscles to achieve maximum force quickly, which is a direct correlation for dominating on the volleyball court. So, of course, box jumps involve jumping to and from boxes. Landing creates more stress to the muscles and joints, so these exercises should only be attempted after doing exercises, which this is after the knee tuck, of course. The last warm-up exercise is the walking lunge. Stand with one foot in front of the other, with the back foot placed slightly laterally for increased stability. Lunge forward with one leg, bending it until the thigh is parallel to the floor. The heel of the lead leg should stay on the ground. Do not shift your weight so far forward that the knee extends past the toes. And of course, these walking lunges definitely warm up the legs, getting ready for deadlift and box squats. Muscles developed: quadriceps, gluteus maximus, hamstrings, gastrocnemius, and core muscles. And that's why Ladonna's feeling the burn. After a great warm up, it is now time for our first exercise, the deadlift. The deadlift is a whole body exercise that uses major muscle groups, building glutes, legs, back, and shoulder. Here, Ladonna stands close to the bar, feet placed shoulder width apart, grabbing the bar with a deadlift grip, keeping the weight on her heels, hinge hips by pushing backwards. Meanwhile, keeping a neutral spine. Next, we have box squats. Box squats allow for powerful movements coming from a seated position with weight on your back. Demonstrated here, Ladonna is about to perform the box squat. The box squat is an excellent lift for developing strength and power in the hip extensions. This exercise involves squatting to a box, sitting upright, and then driving hips vigorously to the starting position. On the way down, as you notice, Ladonna pushes her butt backward as much as possible while keeping shins straight, pushing thighs outward while pushing hard on the floor with the outside of her feet. She maintains a neutral spine and squat to the box, driving upward from the box by pushing the traps into the bar first and explosively extending the hips and then the legs. Next, we have the incline chest press. Now, the reason why we work large muscle groups before isolation curls, knee extensions, and calf raises is because smaller muscle groups act as weak links in the chain. Fatiguing them first limits the intensity of effort doing large muscle lifts. And as you notice here, we've gone from the deadlift to the box squats to our last large muscle group exercise with the chest press. Now, Ladonna is performing the bent over row, of course, with a stiff leg deadlift with weights to open up the trapezius muscles, work the teres majors and minors, and rhomboids. Utilizing smaller muscle groups now after the heavy lifts, making sure that we get a great workout. Now, of course, next we have seated leg curls. Leg curls here, as Ladonna is demonstrating, is working the hamstrings. Including this move in our regimen, reverse leg curls balance out leg strength to stabilize knee joints and prevent injury. A lot of athletes and weekend warriors train their quadriceps, the muscles at the front of the thigh, at the expense of the hamstrings. This makes the ACL or anterior cruciate ligament of the knee vulnerable to strain or tearing. Few exercises target the hamstrings as directly, making the reverse leg curl a must. And of course, finish up with calf raises. Now, the exercises before prepare Ladonna for our circuit training. Circuit training is performing exercises rapidly in a series because Ladonna has now progressed from the sumo deadlift to a traditional deadlift. As you see here, we have 10 reps of deadlifts combined with front lunges, stationary lunges, aka static lunges, concentrated on the front muscles there, those quadriceps. With raised kettlebells, as you can see here, Ladonna is prepared because her previous exercises and previous training days prepared her for this circuit right here. That's both legs, and then from the kettlebell static lunge, we're going straight to the box jump. Now, a little background about Ladonna and boxes. As I stated earlier, she had a little hiccup with the box. And of course, this was a taller box, which she successfully landed 6 times. But unfortunately, number 7 has her, as you notice here, a little reluctant to get back on the box. But of course, Ladonna finally faces her fears and goes straight for the box jump eventually. Now, what this does, of course, is helps Ladonna face her fears, also pushes her to the limit. As you can see, her box jumps are extraordinary. And this is a circuit from the box jumps straight to walking lunges. Anywhere between 10 to 16 lunges. And of course, completing the circuit anywhere between 3 to 4 rounds. Now, static stretching, the muscle stretches slowly and gradually by holding the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds, resting for a few seconds, and repeating. Each time trying to increase range of motion. The stretch occurs slowly, so much less attention occurs from stretch receptors. Stretch to the point where you feel a pull, but not to the point of pain. As you notice, Ladonna here are activating those parasympathetic pathways, taking it nice, slow, and controlled, continuing to inhale and exhale out. Stretching the major muscles that we utilize doing the exercises. And now, it's getting ready to perform the runner's lunge with overhead reach. And of course, Ladonna here is concentrating on the glutes, also getting a lower back stretch. This allows for her to limit the chances of injury after the workout. And of course, as stated earlier, it signals to the parasympathetic pathways that it's time for Ladonna to cool down. One must never stretch into pain because overstretching the muscle can lead to injury. And that's what you don't want. So of course, after the runner's lunge, it's time for a lower back stretch. And as demonstrated, why not use the tools given? At this particular gym, this is Ladonna's favorite. And as stated before, Ladonna did have lower back injuries. So of course, I always like to make sure that we finish out each workout with a great stretch. And Ladonna definitely can get into that lower back area, that erector spina, and get that lower stretch in. Hold it from anywhere between 10 to 30 seconds. Then of course she'll cross her arms here, concentrate on one side versus the other. You get an even better stretch.